Today we're going to visit Campe's Motor Museum. It is a hidden gem for automotive enthusiasts, located in Hamilton, Victoria. Originally founded by Glenn and Margaret Campe, the museum is the culmination of over 30 years of history that began with their local bus charter business, Campe's Coaches. Let's learn a little about Glenn Campe as we look at some of his amazing collection. Glenn is a prominent figure in the Hamilton community, known for his long career in the transport industry and his dedication to preserving Australian motoring history. His life story is a classic example of Aussie battler success, building a massive enterprise from humble beginnings through sheer mechanical skill and hard work. Before he was a museum owner, Glenn was the driving force behind Campe's Coaches. In December 1979, Glenn and his wife Margaret started the business from a concrete slab in their backyard. They began by purchasing a single local school bus run from a friend. Within 8 months they bought a second bus for weekend charters, and by 1999 the business had grown to include 7 local school bus services and a fleet of 14 buses. Glenn and Margaret famously worked 7 days a week. For the first 11 years they didn't even draw a wage, reinvesting everything back into the fleet. Glenn was the primary mechanic, often changing gearboxes or clutches overnight to ensure the buses were ready for the school run the next morning. They eventually branched out into travel, funding Campe's Tara Travel, which organised domestic and international tours for Hamilton locals. In October 2011, Glenn and Margaret sold the coach business to Trotters Coaches. After selling the coach business, Glenn began to transition his mechanical skill into his true passion, restoration. They then opened the museum to the public. For a fan of Australian automotive history, especially one with an interest in the grey motor era and classic Holdens, this museum offers a personal, hands-on feel that differs from larger, more corporate collections. It's a great place to see how regional Australian transport evolved from the mid-century to today. The museum houses over 80 vehicles, ranging from vintage and veteran cars to classic trucks and motorbikes. The collection is known for its eclectic mix of Australian and international motoring history. Standout pieces include a 1929 Stutz and a 1933 Citroën, although for me I found the Australian cars, especially the old Holdens, Falcons and Chrysler Valiants, more interesting. There is even a Leyland P76, complete with 44-gallon drum in the boot. Beyond the vehicles, there is a vast array of motoring automobilia, including vintage photos, petrol pumps, antiques and technical components that trace the evolution of transport. Glenn's interests are surprisingly diverse. While his mechanical expertise is focused on transport, he is also a dedicated collector of cultural history. He owns a massive collection of roughly 4,000 original vinyl records. He has also curated collections of everything from Biggles books and antique radios to model trains and vintage petrol pumps. There are hundreds of examples of household memorabilia from the 50s, 60s and 70s displayed around the museum. The pride and joy of Brian's collection is his Ansett flexible clipper. Resplendent in original Ansett livery, it is one of the standout examples of this iconic coach. They are often described as the DC3 of the road due to their distinctive aerodynamic Art Deco styling, which features a streamlined shape and a characteristic rooftop-mounted air scoop. Brian's clipper showcases the original craftsmanship of Bob Ansett's Ansett Proprietary Limited, which built 131 of these coaches under licence from the American Flexible Company between 1950 and 1960. Campe's Motor Museum remains a private, family-run passion project and is a cultural treasure not to be missed. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos soon.